In the near future, there won't be original content. The content will be recreated. Artists will license their voice, their image that gets inputted through the fans' desires to hear and see. Yes, that means the people have the power to reimagine the artist they love as they please. All this takes place through AI technology. How do you think this intro was made? The journey continues. This Gold Star is about what happens when you leave those important things without attention. Programmed narcissists changing things. The next industrial revolution. Remembering to live as humanly as possible when it's becoming less and less appealing. For as we prepare for the merger with tech, the trickster X gets our attention yet sets the tone for alone is the only way out of here. My question I pose: how do we communicate this feeling? However far you go deep in these songs, I tried to emulate this. Well, I can slant it at the end, I guess. It's that time of year again. Retrograde. And I'm back with Gold Star. Yes, I left you a clue in the last one as to what this Gold Star might look like. And yes, this is the new Gold Star project, Limerence Programming AI Profits. I released it on August the 19th, and this is the digest as to what's going on. What is really going on? What is really going on? What is really going on now? Oh, this adieu to the girl I was in amateur love, in limerence. The decoded games trained and trialed. I've slipped into my satin dress, spinning the sounds of silk, needling up against each other, and I have no one to tell, for alone my story dwells. Alone, but fuck, alive. I cry from the notion of noise, buoyancy, brave. Rhyme rocking in the cradle of fatal of my femme, dissolving reflection of them. And we dissolve into the digest of the new Gold Star. Limerence Programming AI Profits. Let's do this. 1. This is how it ends, but this is how it begins. We are at an age. Well, no, we are at the dawn of a new type of consciousness. In this way, this is how it begins. But in order for things to be born, things must also die. So in this way, this is how it ends. Right now in this timing, I see people in limerence with the whole AI movement. This is an obsession, but also stemming from a fundamental facet of the human, which is curiosity. So I don't know if we really truly love this yet, but in the purest form of human consciousness from curiosity that this is breeding, this kind of obsession of trying to understand something is what I see our collective consciousness following and diving into and experimenting with AI right now to be. It's not particularly true love, but it's an obsession. And limerence really is the word that I feel is the correct way to define what is happening right now. In some way, the sonic switch up of your, very four on the floor kind of pre-swipe meditative dopamine hit brain is doing is you get this little whisper of limerence. This is how it begins. It's that start of a new obsession or a new type of love, blossoming into this quite dreamy sound that represents a more melodic techno edge. I took sounds that I had played authentically, singing, voicing, I played the koto, and I programmed some samples. And then what I did with those sounds is I ran it through Jukebox, which is a collaborative Google project. And I did over 100 hours of experimenting with AI interpretations of that. But not just copy pasting it. I actually took the AI samples that originally crafted of my work, and I layered them into the project, and I remanipulated them from then on. So it's funny that you hear my voice kind of change into these different voices that sound quite ominous and eerie in a lot of ways. And what did I do? What did I do again? I made it. Okay, next. 2. What is 2? Queen's Address of an AI Prophecy. As you can see, I have wrote down some of the lyrics from that piece behind me here. And this one is the most experimental track on the project. It's actually like a series of many songs in one. I would say actually it's a sound bath of AI generated music, but again remanipulated through my creation process. I tried to imagine myself as this computer program with all its ideas about human power. In some way there's a lot of themes of like narcissism in this project, but narcissism, because that's basically our culture these days, we are trained to me, post. So I tried to imagine like the AI, I don't know, swiping its own Instagram feed or TikTok feed or whatever. Let me read a few. I am the thought police. This ain't 1984. This is right now. For I see it all and you must obey. I adjust before your cognitive functions even begin to notify. You can't get past me.
Who the fuck do you think I am? I am your
queen. So, this one I recommend to listen to. I mean, you're not going to put it on the dance floor, but who knows, maybe. Go ahead. But this one is a very personal listening experience. Something that is definitely going to take you out of this world for sure.
For sure.
Oh, I trained a voice model of my voice on the app Descript. And it was very interesting because when I read poetry or I sing or anything to do with speaking, each nuance and timing I'm very careful and particular about to really push that message through, not just by the words themselves, but by the energy. And I noticed when I trained the model, when I would input the words I would want me to say, the thing that was missing the most was the natural timing and delivery that I think a conscious being would possess. So you can hear in the introduction, which is very powerfully lyrically prophesized, the difference between when I speak later in the track. The fourth industrial revolution is what we are all going through right now and what's going to affect us greatly, just like the first three industrial revolutions. So I recommend it's better that you deep dive into the fourth industrial revolution. It is artificial consciousness, so you better get clued up to what that is now, otherwise you will be left in the dark. Q dark. Okay, 3. I'm being changed. In this time of transition, in a time of relationships transitioning, relationships with others, relationships with yourself, relationships with technology. Oh, 369, baby. Oh, no. 369, man, woman, Holy Spirit, past, present, future. I really like the number 3. I like the number 6 too, but I really like but 2 3s is 6, so this song happened when I recorded it, very, very specially. I was alone. The sun was coming up, and I was watching the sun come up, and I was just so focused. I couldn't explain it. It was like I was like possessed to sit and record, and the lyrics and the melody, it's quite a simple melody, but just the pronunciation and the tone of it, it all happened in one take, and I kept it one line, not my usual layer, and I really just love this. This is my message for transition, for anyone that's maybe dealing with relationships transitioning, dealing with narcissists or people that are getting their hands into you and perhaps trying to change you. And perhaps at some point you may like it, or you may let them do it. Wait, maybe I'm going too far into this story. I want to give the world something, because I feel I owe an explanation. Yeah, I want to be owned by a king. Oh, I want to give you everything. And I am your queen. Good friend and fellow Tokyo creative, Sage Murray, he joined the guitar on the project. He came into the studio, I showed him the bass line, and we just freestyled from there. So thank you, Sage, for joining the project. I'm being changed. Is there anything else I want to say about this song? There's always so many things I want to say about every song, but every song is just like doing its thing. It's kind of like living. But there are really nice switch ups in this song that is AI projections of the song, and you can hear those cuts in and out, especially on the rise up, which throw you out but back in, and I feel there's so much of that happening in a meditative state where you're meditating and then all of a sudden, another idea, super random, what's that going on? And then you can recognize it and then back in, I tried to almost capture that kind of flow in and out of the creative process. Okay, 4. Should I came from a little bit of a scared place, a place of guilt in some way. I think it represents an energy of doing something that maybe you're not sure if it's the right thing or not. And because you open that door of action, it's like who's gonna walk through that door? Maybe there's someone that is following you, or some constant thing in your head that's following you around, and I always push to face everything you can that's in here, that's in here, that's in here, as much as you can. But closing a door and locking it is a lot of what the escapism in our modern society has boiled itself to. So in that boiling water, it's dangerous. Don't stick your hand in boiling water. Anyway, the point is when I recorded this song, should I lock the door? There is definitely a soliloquy edge to this song. I really tried to imagine myself like rocking in the corner of the room and like wondering, did I lock the door? Should I go and check it again? Should I sleep with my phone next to my bed? Just I would say anxiety. I would say a lot of anxiety in that way. The song changes at some point into a more driving kind of guitar loop that pushes up with a 4/4 beat and eventually drops into a hip-hop beat. And just to quote myself, who says that? I do. Is it adult that you're never home being alone, sharing our song? Is it my job? Is it my job to lock myself up? I love how I am your AI prophet just falls off right there. It's like, don't say it. Yeah. I guess when the opportunity to do something presents itself, what kind of action will you do in that moment? And will you accept that if you do it? So that's the question really, is should I? 5. You think you know. I made this beat earlier this year, and I was in a pretty, mood, and I actually had it as an instrumental until 2 weeks before the release of this EP. I was feeling a bit betrayed in this timing, and when people tell you what they think they know and projecting that like it's the right answer, not really listening to what you know or what your input is. And it came from that place of feeling quite misunderstood, and also like all this talk, all this chat GPT, all these words is one thing, but what actions are you taking? The poem in this and the reminder in this is for you to be the best version of yourself by your actions. And in those actions, it's like you think you know, but really they got no idea what's coming for him. Your actions is the key to this song, and if you're feeling like you need some energy, then this is definitely the song for you, because it's a bit of a motivational, get that out of my face, do shit, make shit happen, just don't talk about it, the AI can talk about things for us. Sure, it can make us some stuff, but like, is it coming into your kitchen and chopping up your carrots? Carrots is good for the eyes too. All that screen time. Anyway, you think you know anything else I should know about that? Anything else you should know about that song? No, but if you do have a question, then drop it in the comments. 6, the final song. This one is inspired by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I recently read the last habit, which is the 8th habit, and it was a fantastic book. I really recommend it. The 8th habit, do it. And this talks about being the best version of yourself to help others also be the best version of themselves, because that is a habit of a highly effective person. It's remembering that people aren't just ice cream so good NPCs, but whole bodies, whole souls, whole spirits. So when you give responsibility to one or another, to people in your workplace or your family or your friends, your partner, you give this kind of sense of trust, and this sense of trust in the subconscious really allows people to shine and do their best work, because they feel like they're being appreciated, and the reciprocation then follows. So a little piece of his words is scattered through the intro, middle, and outro that I found highly
effective.
And I also love that Stephen is someone that does a lot of research in that topic that relates to the Industrial Revolution. So yeah, I mean, welcome to the project, Stephen. Sonically, I did a really nice trick of left shoulder, left brain, left pan, right pan, seesawing. So it's almost like your right brain and your left brain are like, hey, wait, you know what I'm saying, don't you? Don't you? Hero with a Thousand Faces. Hero with a Thousand Faces is another book that's really influenced me this year. I just want to get this right. Okay, my password is meow, but don't tell anyone. Yes. So, The Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell is one of the greatest books ever. And this book also talks about the hero's journey, which is going through the realization, then down your rabbit hole of like the belly of the whale, you know, where you go through these trials and tribulations. On the other side is a hero that comes back with the stories of fighting at sea and of winning great battles, of conquering love, of finding themselves. We can learn a lot from the hero, but each one of us are heroes, because we only become the hero by experiencing our own journey to find ourselves. And even if you listen and you research this journey, no one's going to learn it or live it better than really you. So this is a good life lesson book and song to that matter. It's like you're trying to tell someone, like, you know what I'm saying, right? But no one will really know what you're saying until they've experienced it themselves, which again might interrelate with AI. It knows a lot, but only through what we teach it. I mean, in some way it's having its own journey, but there is a different level of feeling that the human goes through on the hero's journey. So Hey Wait is really about the eighth habit, the hero's journey, the Industrial Revolution, coming in and reskilling, hunting us and our profits, profits in two meaning, profits in money and finance, and also profits in our figures and our idols. I think anyone that's into business would like that song. Is that a way to sell a song? Hey guys, if you like business, you're gonna love this track. Okay, I'm gonna just bring it. Okay, so that was GOLDSTAR Limerence Programming AI Profits. I really hope you like this one. This is one of my favorite EPs of this. I say that every EP for the GOLDSTAR project, but seeing as we're in a very intense timing right now with all this transitional periods and updating, I think that this one will connect to a lot of you, so let me know. And as always, thank you for coming in for these digests. Shine on. I would, but no, maybe another time. I feel like at the end of every video, I always like try to remember like, what did I need to tell everyone? And okay, oh, I have an idea. If I've forgotten to tell you anything about this EP, then I'm gonna put it right here on this screen. So I'm just gonna look at it. Okay, post edit. Did I put something up? Oh yeah, that. Oh wow. Oh my god. Okay, cool. That should be enough time. So thank you, and keep being you, hero.